Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing some new Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 4 and Ninjago Legacy 2026 leaks that have appeared online thanks to an Italian retail website. I'm not kidding. Now, with that in mind, we do have a few new descriptions, especially for some of the upcoming Season 4 and Ninjago Legacy 2026 sets that have not yet received descriptions. However, these descriptions are very, very vague for some of them. However, again, we do have 4 new descriptions, so naturally I kind of need to talk about them. Not sure how much I will say about some of them, though. Like I said, for the most part, these are very vague. And again, these are translated to English from an Italian website, so expect some translation mistakes. However, starting with this one, set number 71850, Lloyd versus Spinner. Jump into action with the Ninjago Lloyd versus Spinner set. Recreate epic battles between Ninjago characters with this set, featuring Lloyd, the master of lightning power, totally, and the evil Spinner. Yada yada yada, just a bunch of junk there. Yeah, so obviously the big thing here, Lloyd is labeled as the Master of Lightning. Again, translation mistake. I've seen some people say that these are fake just because of that choice in wording there. Again, these come from an actual retail website, so not sure why these would be fake. Again, just a mistranslation there. However, again, this does back up the idea that these Spinner sets will actually be for the villains, not so much for the ninja. So in the case of this set, again, we have Lloyd versus Spinner. Lloyd is not getting the Spinner, the villain is. And that is also true for the other Spinner set from these Season 4 sets. This one, set number 71849, which is Nia versus Spinner, which basically says the exact same thing as the Lloyd Spinner set description, except obviously changed to fit Nia. But again, this does back up the idea that the villains have the Spinner this time around. Now again, in terms of what monsters these villains are supposed to be, the monster that Lloyd will be facing in his set, that's supposed to be the Earth monster, and Nia is supposed to be battling the mutation monster in her Spinner set. So do with that information what you will, but again, these do back up the claims that we've heard previously that these Spinners are more so for the monsters, not so much for the ninja. What that means for Dragons Rising Season 4, it's hard to say. I doubt the monsters will be using Spinjitzu though, but we've seen crazier things happen in Dragons Rising so far, so who really knows at this point. Next up here, we have another Season 4 set number 71853, Jay's Mech Dragon Duel. Jump into action with the Ninjago Jay's Mech Dragon takedown, okay? Fight alongside Jay to defeat the evil Mech Dragon, and save the world of Ninjago. Packed with details and accessories, this set offers hours of fun, yada yada yada. Add this set to your collection, prepare to battle the forces of evil with Jay and his mighty Mech Dragon. So again, could be a mistranslation, but it does kind of sound like both mechs here will be Mech Dragons to an extent. We've heard previously that this set would have, again, 2 mechs, one for Jay, one for whatever monster he would be fighting in this set. Apparently they are both Mech Dragons. Could be a translation mistake, like I said, but it would be interesting to see what an evil Mech Dragon monster mech could look like. But again, other rumblings, other rumors about this set that we've heard suggest that it is instead a monster mech, so do with that what you will. This could be literally anything. However, Jay's dragon mech is probably a dragon mech. Would not be surprised if it's based very loosely on his mech dragon from Dragons Rising Season 3 Part 2. And again, we do know that this will be a 4+ juniors set, so expect this set to not look the best. It's definitely going to be on the cheaper side, more so meant for a younger Ninjago fan base. And finally, let's talk about this description, which is actually for an upcoming Ninjago Legacy set number 71860, which is the Lloyd's Titan mech. Leap into action with Lloyd's Titan mech, packed with details and features. This set lets you build and customize the legendary Green Ninja's mech. Battle Ninjago enemies and defend the city in style, a perfect addition to your Ninjago collection, yada yada yada, you guys know the drill. So for Lloyd's Titan mech here, this is actually a little bit interesting now that I'm thinking about it. I guess, again, it would have been more exciting with maybe a minifigure list. Again, we know that this is a Ninjago Legacy set, set, so we are expecting one of the 7 collectible minifigures to be here. If I had to guess, probably Hibernus, the Master of Ice, but that's just a guess on my end. I'm curious though if this is actually for Lloyd's Titan mech, as in the one from Ninjago Season 11. That's what we've heard so far, that for some reason this set would be a remake of that set, which I suppose does make sense because again, that set is very limited in terms of its articulation. It doesn't really stack up with some of the more modern Titan mechs. So maybe again, LEGO just wants to create a modern day Lloyd's Titan mech and actually make it so that it's consistent with the current Titan mechs. However, because this description says battle enemies and defend the city, well, the last time that we saw Lloyd in a mech in the city, or at least the most prominent time in my opinion, was during Season 2, when Lloyd was using his golden mech in Ninjago City to take on the Stone Army right before he battled the Overlord. So in my opinion, I feel like this does have a high chance to be maybe an upgraded Lloyd's golden mech set. Maybe to that Titan mech scale, maybe actually having a lot of those same features and articulation that again, the modern day Titan mechs have, but for Lloyd's golden mech, which in turn is also the first Spinjitzu Masters mech. It's hard to say. I think I would prefer that as well over a remake of the Season 11 set, because I feel like again, that set, while it is very limited, still does hold up and it does fit in with the modern Titan mechs close enough. And I know that we've had a legacy remake of Lloyd's golden mech in the past, but that set isn't really all that great in my opinion. However, increasing that mech to Titan mech scale could be a lot of fun. Then again, the description here says that it's the legendary Green Ninja's mech, not the Golden Ninja's mech, but Lloyd was driving it in the show in his green form, so anything's possible there. I'm also curious to see what this description means when it says that we can customize the mech. Maybe there are a few different features. Maybe we can switch between a few different mechs for Lloyd. Again, hard to say what exactly this description actually means. I just feel like, again, this set is looking more likely than not to be a remake of Lloyd's Season 11 mech, just given everything that we've heard so far, but fingers crossed it's actually the golden mech. That would be amazing. But with that being said, everyone, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Just a quick couple of set descriptions here brought to us by an Italian retail website. No images or anything like that, just text-based information here. But leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments surrounding everything that we talked about in today's video. Which of these sets sounds the most exciting to you? And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys did, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.